All right, I think we are live now. Yes, welcome everyone to our Saturday Mastermind here, Unlimited Network Mastermind. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we get together to master the laws of the universe and to really master the creators that we are, let's say. And we are very excited here, starting a new wave of learnings and teachings and supporting each other here to manifest, if you want to enjoy the manifestation of our dreams, to deeply understand that we are the creators of our life, and to be what I call conscious entrepreneurs, that are the ones that are not just doing the outside actions, even though that is the, I would say, the joy of expressing our inner growth from
Monica, we lost your voice transmission and your frame froze. Arnie, are you there, or did you drop your internet connection? All right. Well, I'll go ahead and take over here then. Good morning, everyone. Arnie and Monica are speaking to us from Costa Rica, and they have intermittent outages. I'm disappointed that we didn't get to hear her setup, because she was going to tell us about the new book that we're starting today, and the title of it is Money and the Law of Attraction. And let me turn this around so you can read it. I think it's probably, here we go, let's hold this up now. Money and the Law of Attraction. And this book is by Esther and Jerry Hicks, and it's on the teachings of Abraham. Esther Hicks is a channeler, and she has channeled a higher non-physical consciousness that they have named Abraham. And it is designed to provide for us some insights into the larger non-physical self that all of us are. We've talked many times on the call about the reality that we live a dual nature, that we are both a spiritual being as well as a physical being. And in reality, the non-physical side of us, the spiritual beingness that each of us possesses, is in fact the larger and more powerful entity that we are. And so it's been very enlightening to read about Esther and Jerry Hicks and listen to their tapes and books and teachings. If you haven't encountered them, I recommend that you do, because it really does provide insight into what most of us consider to be the mysteries of life. So it's fun to read that, and it's fun to expand your consciousness. And one of the areas of all of our lives that is most heavily charged or encumbered or problem area in most of our lives is the area of money. And so they have an entire book here now dedicated to money and how the law of attraction functions in providing exactly the amount of money that you will allow yourself to have. And for those of you that have heard about the law of attraction, I'm sure it doesn't require any teaching, but for new people on the phone, yes, Amobi, I can see you. The law of attraction is that spiritual side of us. What we think, feel, and believe is what is actually creating every event in our physical life that we call our life. And so those of us that are on the path of higher consciousness are constantly trying to improve our ability to apply spiritual laws to our lives. And so I hope you'll enjoy this book. If you haven't got it in front of you, I urge you to go out and get it. You can get it just about at any bookstore going. And we're going to start today, and it's my privilege and my pleasure to kind of guide us through this book. And as you listen to this, I hope it impinges a little bit and communicates to you the essence of what our authors and Abraham are trying to teach us in terms of how to improve our life. Monica, you're back. Are you live now? Would you like me to switch the call back to you?
Well, I just want to say I'm sorry about that, but we got lost in the jungle here with the internet. But I don't know, whatever it is that you are doing, I just was I was ready to introduce a little bit the work of Abraham Hicks. So maybe you have done that already. You want me to do that? Let's see.
I did a little bit of that, but I'm really interested to hear what you had to say. So basically, all I said is I'm disappointed that I didn't get to hear your introduction. So if you do that for us, I know our listeners will enjoy it.
Mute. Yes, great. So, well, I just want to say that, let's see, besides welcoming everybody, and something that I want to say before, there is a lot of new people coming because we opened this new wave with the new book with Abraham Hicks. And I just want to say, if you want to be on the panel, please, it's a special link, okay? I know there is many people looking just the video here. So if you want to be on the panel, just have to email Arne, A-R-N-E, @unlimitednetwork.com. And we will add you here in the panel so we can all talk, etc. And okay, great. So let me explain to you a little bit the excitement here that I have. But to me, I think that we are kind of conscious people here, because we are going to receive the guidance and the teachings from a higher level of consciousness that we all have, but we not all embody, or we not all are aware of it. We don't all know exactly how the universe works and what it is that we can educate ourselves to be in alignment with that kind of frequency. So we have chosen this book after the Catherine Ponder teachings that we had to really master that in a very practical way. Something that I like about Abraham Hicks is or this higher consciousness, or how they define themselves as a group consciousness from the non-physical dimensions. So to really surrender to that, I will say we start to open up ourselves to understand that we are much more than what we appear to be in this physical plane. That doesn't mean that we are not here also, but we are multidimensional beings, and sometimes we heard, that when you want something in life, the fact that you want it is something that I learned with Catherine Ponder, and also with the science of getting rich that we study very deeply. But when we want something, that's not an accident. That means that that something is already in our consciousness, already exists. Now, how to master to download that here, to manifest it physically, okay? That's what we are going to learn with them. And I think I just want to say that it's practical. It's really to switch, instead of focusing in general, on complaining or things that are not working or whatever. I think Abraham is going to teach us how to uplift our frequencies, how to really feel good inside, so we can be in alignment with all our natural desires. And we are here to enjoy. One thing that I want to say before we start, Doc Fran, to really deepen in on the teachings here, is that the message, the basic message of Abraham Hicks, of this higher consciousness that is you and I, all of us, we are part of that consciousness, okay? It says that the basis of your life is freedom. And to me, my commitment of financial freedom, let's say, that is really what I'm in business for, is an expression of that freedom. Okay, so I'm really like thirsty inside, to experience in this physical form the freedom that I am. That means to do, to be, to travel, whatever it is that I want in the moment. And you too is a possibility, okay? It's a call, I would say, more also not only a possibility, but an inner call that at some point it appears, okay? And also says that the purpose of your life, of my life too, is joy. And we really come back from another side, you know, like the idea was to work hard, and the more you work, the better you are, blah blah. I mean, this higher consciousness that we are is already fulfilled and happy, and that well-being that we already are is really our job to download it, to embody it, to experience it here, and to have a really, really good life. So after this, Doc Fran, I just want to jump into the book and to learn from it and to practice. So welcome, welcome everyone, and welcome. Thank you, Doc Fran.
Well, thank you, Monica, and good morning again, everyone. And it is fun, and I hope that you will follow along. And for some of you, this may be the first time that you encounter these concepts, and that is the first step in enlightenment, is to have an awareness of and an intellectual or conscious awareness of principle. And so it's a privilege to be the vehicle that may help you achieve that. So our book is Money and the Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks, giving the teachings of Abraham, our non-physical consciousness. Your story and the law of attraction. Each and every component that makes up your life experience is drawn to you by the powerful law of attraction's response to the thoughts you think and the story you tell about your life. Your money and financial assets, your body's state of wellness, clarity, flexibility, size, and shape, your work environment, how you are treated, work satisfaction, and rewards. Indeed, the very happiness of your life experience in general is all happening because of the story that you tell. If you will let your dominant intention be to revise and improve the content of the story you tell every day of your life, it is our absolute promise to you that your life will become that ever-improving story. For by the powerful law of attraction, it must be. Does life sometimes seem to be unfair? You have wanted more success and you have applied yourself well, doing everything that everyone said you should do, but the success you have been seeking has been slow to come. You tried very hard, especially at first, to learn all the right things, to be in the right places, to do the right things, to say the right things, but often things did not appear to be improving much at all. Earlier in your life, when you were first dipping your toe into the idea of achieving success, you found satisfaction in satisfying the expectations of the others who were laying out the rules for success. The teachers, parents, and mentors who surrounded you seemed confident and convincing as they laid out their rules for success. Always be on time. Always do your best. Remember to work hard. Always be honest. Strive for greatness. Go the extra mile. There's no gain without pain. And most important, never give up. But over time, your finding satisfaction from gaining the approval of those who had laid out those rules waned, as their principles of success, no matter how hard you tried, did not yield you the promised results. And it was more disheartening still when you stood back to gain some perspective on the whole picture and realized that their principles were not, for the most part, bringing them real success either. And then, to make matters even worse, you began meeting others who clearly were not following those rules, who were achieving success apart from the formula that you had been so diligent to learn and imply. And so you found yourself asking, what's going on here? How can those who are working so hard be receiving so little, while those who seem to be working so little are achieving so much? My expensive education hasn't paid off at all, and yet that multimillionaire dropped out of high school. My father worked hard every day of his life, and yet our family had to borrow the money to pay for his funeral. Why doesn't my hard work pay off for me the way it's supposed to? Why do so few get really rich, while most of us struggle to barely get by? What am I missing? What do those financially successful people know that I don't know? Doing your best is still not enough. When you are doing everything you can think of, truly trying your best to do what you have been told is supposed to bring you success, success does not come. It's easy to feel defensive and eventually even angry at those who are displaying evidence of the success that you desire. You even find yourself sometimes condemning their success simply because it is too painful to watch them living the success that continues to elude you. And it is for this reason, in response to this chronic condition in the financial affairs of your culture, that we offer this book. When you come to the place of openly condemning the financial success that you crave, not only can that financial success never come to you, but you are also forfeiting your God-given rights to your health and happiness as well. Many actually come to the incorrect conclusion that others in their physical environment have banded together in some sort of conspiracy to keep them from succeeding. For they believe with all of their heart that they have done everything possible to achieve success. And the fact that it has not come surely means that there are some unfriendly forces at work that are depriving them of what they desire. But we want to assure you that nothing like that is at the heart of the absence of what you desire or of the presence of things you would like to remove from your experience. No one has ever or ever could have prevented your success or provided it. Your success is up to you. It is all in your control. And we are writing this book so that now, finally, once and for all, your success can be in your deliberate and conscious control. Whatever I can desire, I can achieve. It is time for you to return to the true nature of your being and to consciously live the success that the experiencing of your own life has helped you determine that you desire. And so, as you deliberately relax right now, breathing deeply and reading steadily, you will begin to gradually but surely remember how all success comes. For you already inherently understood it, and so you will certainly feel resonance with those absolute truths as you read about them here. The eternal laws of the universe are constant and reliable and steadily hold, always, the promise of expansion and joy. They are being presented to you here in a powerful rhythm of understanding that will start small within you and then expand with each page you read until you reawaken into the knowledge of your purpose and your own personal power as you remember how to access the power of the universe that creates worlds. In this time-space reality has within it the capability to inspire a desire within you. It is absolute that this time-space reality has the ability to yield you a full and satisfying manifestation of that same desire. It is law. To achieve success is my natural birthright. Most people naturally assume that if their life is not going the way they want it to go, something outside of themselves must be preventing the improvement. For no one would deliberately prevent their own improvement. No, and while pointing the blame at others, they may feel better than assuming the responsibility for unwanted conditions. There is a very big negative repercussion to believing that something outside of you is the reason for your own lack of success. When you give the credit or the blame to another for your success or lack of it, you are powerless to make any change. When you desire success, but from your perspective you are not currently experiencing it, at many deep levels of your being you recognize that something is wrong. And as this strong feeling of personal discord magnifies your awareness that you're not getting what you want, it often sets into motion other counterproductive assumptions that evoke jealousy towards those who are having more success, resentment at a myriad of people you would like to blame for your lack of success, or even self-denigration, which is the most painful and counterproductive assumption of all. And we submit that this uncomfortable upheaval is not only normal, but it is the perfect response to your feeling a lack of success. Your emotional discomfort is a powerful indicator that something is very wrong. You are meant to succeed, and failure should feel bad to you. You are meant to be well, and sickness should not be accepted. You are supposed to expand, and stagnation is intolerable. Life is supposed to go well for you, and when it does not, there is something wrong. But what is wrong is not that an injustice has occurred, or that the gods of good fortune are not focusing on you, or that someone else has received the success that should have been yours. What is wrong is that you are out of harmony with your own being, with who you really are, with what life has caused you to ask for, with what you have expanded to, and with that ever-consistent laws of the universe. What is wrong is not something that is outside of you, over which you have no control. What is wrong is within you, and you do have control. And taking control is not difficult to do once you understand the basis of who you are, and the basics of the laws of attraction, and the value of your personal emotional guidance system that you were born with, which is always active, ever present, and easy to understand. Money is not the root of evil or of happiness. This important subject of money and financial success is not the root of all evil, as many have quoted, nor is it the path to happiness. However, because the subject of money touches most of you in one way or another, hundreds or even thousands of times in every day, it is a large factor in your vibrational makeup and in your personal point of attraction. So when you are able to successfully control something that affects most of you all day, every day, you will have accomplished something rather significant. In other words, because such a high percentage of your thoughts in any given day reside around the topic of money or financial success, as soon as you are able to deliberately guide your thoughts, not only is it certain that your financial success must improve, but the evidence of that success will then prepare you for deliberate improvement in every aspect of your life experience. If you are a student of deliberate creation, if you want to consciously create your own reality, if you desire control of your own life experience, if you want to fulfill your reason for being, then your understanding of these prevalent topics, money and the law of attraction, will serve you enormously well. I am the attractor of my every experience. You are meant to live an expansive, exhilarating, good-feeling experience. It was your plan when you made the decision to become focused in your physical body in this time-space reality. You expected this physical life to be exciting and rewarding. In other words, you knew that the variety and contrast would stimulate you to expand desires. And you also knew that any and all of those desires could be fully and easily realized by you. You knew also that there would be no end to the expansion of new desires. You came into your body full of excitement about the possibilities that this life experience would inspire. And that desire that you held in the beginning was not muted at all by trepidation or doubt, for you knew your power, and you knew that this life experience, with all of its contrasts, would be the fertile ground for wonderful expansion. Most of all, you knew that you were coming into this life experience with a guidance system to help you remain true to your original intent, as well as to your never-ending amended intentions that would be born out of this very life experience. In short, you felt an eagerness for this time-space reality that nearly defies physical description. You were not a beginner, even though you were newly beginning in your wee small physical body, but instead you were a powerful creative genius, newly focusing in a new leading edge environment. You knew that there would be a time of adjustment while redefining a new platform from which you would begin your process of deliberate creating, and you were not the least bit worried about that time of adjustment. In fact, you rather enjoyed the nest into which you were born and those who were there to greet you in your new physical environment. And while you could not yet speak the language of their words, or although you were perceived by those who greeted you as new and unknowing and in need of their guidance, you possessed a stability and a knowing that most of them had long left behind. You were born knowing that you are a powerful being, that you are good, that you are the creator of your experience, and that the law of attraction is the basis of all creation here in your new environment. You remembered then that the law of attraction, the essence of that which is like unto itself is drawn, is the basis of the universe, and you knew it would serve you well, and so it has. You were still remembering then that you are the creator of your own experience. But even more important, you remembered that you do it through your thought, not your action. You were not uncomfortable being a small infant who offered no action or words, for you remembered the well-being of the universe. You remembered your intentions in coming forth into your physical body. And you knew that there would be plenty of time for acclimating to the language and ways of your new environment. And most of all, you knew that even though you would not be able to translate your vast knowledge from your non-physical environment directly into physical words and descriptions, it would not matter. For the most important things to set you on a path of joyful creation were already emphatically in place. You knew that the law of attraction was consistently present and that your guidance system was immediately active. And most of all, you knew that by trial and what some may call error, you would eventually become completely and consciously reoriented in your new environment. I knew of the consistency of the law of attraction. The fact that the law of attraction remains constant and stable throughout the universe was a big factor in your confidence as you came into your new physical environment. For you knew that the feedback of life would help you to remember and gain footing. You remembered that the basis of everything is vibration, and that the law of attraction responds to those vibrations and, in essence, organizes them, bringing things of like vibrations together while holding those not of like vibrations apart. And so you were not concerned about not being able to articulate that knowledge right away or to explain it to those around you who had seemingly forgotten everything they knew about it, because you knew that the consistency of this powerful law would, soon enough, show itself to you through the examples of your own life. You knew then that it would not be difficult to figure out what kinds of vibrations you were offering, because the law of attraction would be bringing to you constant evidence of whatever your vibration was. In other words, when you feel overwhelmed, circumstances and people who could help you get out from under your feeling of overwhelmment cannot find you, nor can you find them. Even when you try hard to find them, you cannot. And those people who do come do not help you, but instead they add to your feeling of overwhelmment. When you feel mistreated, fairness cannot find you. Your perception of your mistreatment and the subsequent vibration that you offer because of your perception prevents anything that you would consider to be fair from coming to you. When you are buried in the disappointment or fear of not having the financial resources that you believe you need, the dollars or the opportunities that would bring the dollars continue to elude you. Not because you are bad or unworthy, but because the law of attraction matches things that are like, not things that are unlike. When you feel poor, only things that feel like poverty can come to you. When you feel prosperous, the only things that you feel like prosperity can come to you. This law is consistent, and if you will pay attention, it will teach you through life experience how it works. When you remember that you get the essence of what you think about, and then you notice what you are getting, you have the keys for deliberate creation. What do we mean by vibration? When we speak of vibration, we are actually calling your attention to the basis of your experience, for everything is actually vibrationally based. We could use the word energy interchangeably, and there are many other synonyms in your vocabulary that accurately apply. Most understand the vibrational characteristics of sound. Sometimes when the deep, rich bass notes of your musical instruments are played loudly, you can even feel the vibrational nature of the sound. We want you to understand that whenever you hear something, you are interpreting vibration into the sound you are hearing. But what you hear is your interpretation of vibration. What you hear is your unique interpretation of vibration. Each of your physical senses of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching exist because everything in the universe is vibrating, and your physical senses are reading the vibrations and giving you sensory perception of the vibrations. So as you come to understand that you live in a pulsating, vibrating universe of advanced harmonics, and at the very core of your being, you are vibrating in what you could only be described as perfection in vibrational balance and harmony, then you begin to understand vibration in the way we are projecting it. Everything that exists in your air, in your dirt, in your water, and in your bodies is vibration in motion, and all of it is managed by the powerful law of attraction. You could not sort it out if you wanted to, and there is no need for you to sort it out because the law of attraction is doing the sorting, continually bringing things of like vibrations together while things of different vibrational natures are being repelled. Your emotions, which really are the most powerful and important of your 6 physical vibrational interpreters, give you constant feedback about the harmonics of your current thoughts, vibrations, as they compare with the harmonics of your core vibrational state. The non-physical world is vibration. The non-physical world, you know, is vibration. There is nothing that exists outside of this vibrational nature. There is nothing that is not managed by the law of attraction. Your understanding of vibration will help you to consciously bridge both worlds. You do not have to understand your complex optic nerve or your primary visual cortex in order to see. You do not have to understand electricity to be able to turn on a light. And you do not have to understand vibrations in order to feel the difference between harmony and discord. As you learn to accept your vibrational nature, you begin to consciously utilize your emotional vibrational indicators. You will gain conscious control of your personal creations and of the outcomes of your life experiences. Whenever I feel abundant, abundance finds me. When you make the conscious correlation between what you have been feeling and what is actually in your life experience, now you are empowered to make change. If you are not making that correlation and so continue to offer through thoughts of lack about things you want, the things you want will continue to elude you. People often, in this misunderstanding, begin to assign power to things outside of themselves in order to explain why they are not thriving in the way they would like. I am not thriving because I was born into the wrong environment. I am not thriving because my parents didn't thrive, so they couldn't teach me how to do it. I'm not thriving because these people over there are thriving and they're taking the resources that should have been mine. I'm not thriving because I was cheated, because I'm not worthy, because I don't live the right way in a past life, because the government ignores my rights, because my husband doesn't do his part, because. We want to remind you, you're not thriving is only because you are offering a vibration that is different from the vibration of thriving. You cannot feel poor and vibrate poor and thrive. Abundance cannot find you unless you offer a vibration of abundance. Many ask, but if I'm not thriving, then how in the world can I offer a vibration of thriving? Don't I have to thrive before I can offer the vibration of thriving? We agree that it is certainly easy to maintain a condition of thriving when it is already in your experience, because then all you have to do is notice the good that is coming, and your observation of it will keep it coming. But if you are standing in the absence of something you want, you must find a way to feel the essence of it, even before it comes, or it cannot come. You cannot let your vibrational offering come only in response to what is, and then ever change what is. You must find a way of feeling the excitement or satisfaction of your currently unrealized dreams before those dreams can become your reality. Find a way to deliberately imagine a scenario for the purpose of offering a vibration and for the purpose of the law of attraction matching your vibration with a real life manifestation. When you ask for the manifestation prior to the vibration, you ask the impossible. When you are willing to offer the vibration before the manifestation, all things are possible. It is law. Rather than default, live life deliberately. We are giving this book to you to remind you of things you already know at some level, so as to reactivate that vibrational knowledge within you. It is not possible for you to read these words, which represent the knowledge that you hold from your broader perspective, without a recognition of this knowledge beginning to surface from within. This really is the time of awakening, the time of remembering your personal power and your reason for being. So take a deep breath, make an effort to get comfortable, and slowly read the contents of this book to restore yourself to your original vibrational essence. So here you are, in a wonderful state of being, no longer an infant under the control of others, somewhat acclimated into your physical environment, and now, by reading this book, returning to the recognition of the full power of your being. No longer buffeted around by the law of attraction like a small cork on a raging sea, but finally remembering and gaining control of your own destiny, finally and deliberately guiding your life within the powerful law of attraction, rather than responding in an attitude of default and just taking life as it comes. In order to do that, you have to tell a different story. You have to begin to tell the story of your life as you now want it to be, and discontinue the tales of how it has been or how it is. Tell the story you want to experience. To live deliberately, you have to think deliberately. And in order to do that, you must have a reference point in order to determine the correct direction of your thought. Right now, just as at the time of your birth, the two necessary factors are in place. The law of attraction, the most powerful and consistent law in the universe, abounds. And your guidance system is within you, all queued up and ready to give you directional feedback. You have only one seemingly small but potentially life-changing thing to do. You have to begin telling your story in a new way. You have to tell it as you want it to be. As you tell the story of your life, and you do it nearly all day, every day with your words, your thoughts, and your actions, You have to feel good while you tell it. In every moment, about every subject, you can focus positively or negatively. For in every particle of the universe, in every moment in time and beyond, there is that which is wanted and the lack of what is wanted pulsing there for you to choose between. As these constant choices reveal themselves to you, you have the option of focusing upon what you want or the lack of it regarding every subject, because every subject is really two subjects: what you want or the absence of what you want. You can tell by the way you feel which choice you are currently focused upon, and you can change your choice constantly. Well, folks, that's the end of it for today. God, what an exciting chapter. I even loved it even more as I read it aloud to myself and to you than I did when I was actually rereading this, probably for the third or fourth time in my life. And that's an important point. You know, we first have to become consciously or intellectually aware. And simply reading a book doesn't always do that. It can spike you, it can stimulate you, but unless it is applied, it never stays as a constant subconscious presence in your life. And so number of times over material equals perfection. And that's exactly why practice makes perfect. So practice reading, rereading, and really thinking about applying what excites you to learn as you learn it. Because what excites you as you learn it is the essential truth that is now in vibrational harmony with your current thoughts. Back to you, Monica. I'm really excited for today's talk.
Wow. Thank you so much, Doc Fran. I mean, your emphasis and what a powerful synthesis. I mean, I love the beginning of this chapter for sure. And, you know, I really get in touch with this, something that I know for so long, but to enjoy it, you know, like to really enjoy it, like this understanding that we are 100% responsible of our experiences, you know. Our physical situation, our physical world, my own physical world that is inside my mind, you know, and I'm getting that more and more. It's like, I knew it, but to deepening into it, you know, it's like, you know, it's really a matter of me taking my power. And I remember when I was highlighting the book too, in the beginning too, that I highlight true principles, you know, that are important for us, that you already read, Doc Fran. I mean, I think it's just to highlight this, you know, but it's that you create your own reality. And it's like, really? Yes, the entire reality, okay? You create your own reality, and your point of power is in the present. It's like right here and now, you know, we can become aware of where we are at, and we have the tools to, you know, switch and to focus on what we start to understand, because I think many of us, like you were saying, Dr. Maybe we are not so familiar with this language, you know, but what we start to understand, that is our true nature, is our birthright, you know. So I'm so excited about to see how we can apply this in our business, in the sense that we are something that got us all together was to really to be a team in our business, you know. But I mean, knowing that is welcome for everybody, but how we apply this in our practical day, you know, how we detect, you know, like when we say here we want success. Yes, we want success. How much that success is in my screen, is in my world, and then to own that, to really do our inner work, to see how we can vibrate higher, you know, and let go all these limitations that we are attached to. Is evident. So if we don't have what we want, here we are working all together. And I would love to hear all of you here. I think, you know, the concept of being energetic, vibrational beings, the concept of, you know, like you cannot feel poor or afraid and attract and you know, and start to manifest your wealth and your prosperity here. So all that is very easy to read and very easy to, I would say I understand it, but to apply it, because when you feel bad or you feel down, oh my gosh, how do you uplift?
All right, Monica, we lost you again. So who would like to open their mic and offer their thoughts of what happened for them this morning in the reading. All
Well,
right, go, Moby.
yeah. Well, I just had some life changes, and I was recently canned at work. The last 2 days I've been home. Um, I truly believe that um, I don't know if you guys are familiar with I Am That I Am, but from young, I've always thought that as I perceive a reality, I can make it happen. And just listening to the words that were said earlier uh, today, it just solidifies exactly what I've been thinking over the last 2 days. I did post on Facebook that I have awoken, and it's just so funny that those words were stressed in. I know Arnie and Monica saw that. I was up late that morning, and I was saying to myself, you know what? Um, what's supposed to be is supposed to be. I didn't have enough time to actually pay attention and give that extra oomph at work. Basically, it was me working for free and to get projects done. But I chose to do what my passion was, and I felt that if I don't if what I'm really supposed to do at work is work within those 8 hours, and whatever is finished within those 8 hours, that's what would be presented. But a month ago, I was wishing that I had the time to really pursue my entrepreneurial business, and it just so happened that whatever I perceive comes to fruition. Everyone, a lot of people around me right now is wondering, people who don't perceive working outside the box are wondering, Moby, why are you smiling? You're supposed to be pissed off right now. Um, I have vehicles. I have vehicles to get where I need to be. I've always had vehicles, but I've always tried to play the two sides of the fence. My family, my dad, he never worked for anyone for his whole life, and I always thought that I could keep that balance. But as I got older and older and older, I'm realizing that I just can't handle me personally letting someone else uh, be in the driver's seat. I just, so what I just want to say is that what I've heard this morning again solidifies exactly, and I know Arnie and Monica can attest to what they saw in my little comment on Facebook, that we already we do control our destiny, and whatever we perceive that can happen, we can get it done. It's all within us. So that's all I have to say for this morning.
Thank you. That's powerful, and I love your vibration in response to your event. It's ideal. Who's
Yes.
next? Who else would like to open their mic and share their thoughts for this morning?
I have something. Monica, your mic.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, I think it's very important, these masterminds. We are entrepreneurs, and just to make sure that we are successful, because that's what I want for everyone and for myself too. And the success, we go out there and we do a lot of activity to get our success. Excuse me. But if we only work on the outside, we're not going to get it. It's not going to happen. So we have to start from, we have to do our outer work, but we have to change our inner self. So doing the double work, which is doing our Facebook and whatever we do, and also doing this kind of inner changing of our vibration. We need to do that and to educate our team to do that, to have the success. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And it's like the success. Our vibration is like an echo. You know, so what we send out is what we hear back. So I'm glad that we are doing this work, and I hope we can inspire our team to also do that, and for them to know that they have to do both. They have to do the inner work to actually have the change. And I'm glad that we found that out, so we're not just spinning our wheels. That's all I have to say now.
Well, thank you. Excellent observations. Monica, are you ready to speak?
Yes, well, I just wanted to say thank you too. Like, I just love that we can have our personal experiences here, and I totally agree with that. And Amobi, I just want to acknowledge you because in some way, to me, you are the angel of, you know, someone that really jumps from being, let's say, we all are evolving here, you know, and many people have this mindset or consciousness of employee that I think is wonderful for whoever really feels that way and they are comfortable with it. But you are jumping on, to me, I see you, the way I perceive you or I experience you is like you already jump, you know, so now the wings has to unfold. There is no other way, you know. It's like when a little bird, you know, gets out of the nest, I mean, the wings start to get the muscles, you know, and you start to really master your own life. Can you hear me? Yes, okay. So I'm very, very, you know, like proud, I will say, or happy to have a real example because you can be a great inspiration for so many people, Amobi, that are already feeling that call. But it's not an easy step to take because we think that gives us the safety, you know, instead of finding that safety inside. So I just want to acknowledge that and also to recognize what you were saying, Arne, that you know, it's so true how we can, you know, manifest or attract, you know, wealth or whatever, financial freedom in my case or whatever, you know, when I am worried about money, when I'm going to attract worried about money because that's what I'm vibrating in. So we really need here to uplift each other. That is what we are doing, to jump into a higher frequency of trust, you know, and to really have that wings, knowing that we have that wings, you know, that really take care of our lives. So thank you so much, guys. You are such an inspiration. I would like to see if there anybody else would like to, remember, you just open your microphone so I can see that you have something to say about this. Let's check out here. Okay. Okay, doesn't look that we want to. Yes, Candace, welcome.
I know I wanted to say something, but I wanted somebody else to talk first. This is so exciting. We're doing this together. I'm just very, as always, very, very grateful. Amobi, I think this is, what a magnificent experience for you to have that one thing let go and to have something like this come in to kind of help walk through something that you're already going to do just fine at. You're already blowing the socks off everybody, so I'm not too worried about you. But anyway, wishing you the best because I know you'll come out shining. We're all here together. I love the thought that we already know everything in this book. We already have it established in our being. I love it that we have this book to remind us. I had a moment of actually feeling poignant sadness. A moment while I was listening, a moment I remembered in raising my kids, where I corrected one of the girls, and it was purely from the conditioning of this society rather than from, I know who you are, you mighty magnificent being, just because you're short. I am going to tell you, instead of telling her the truth of her powerful self, I told her the story of the confused society in which I live. And so I had a moment of going, oh golly, you know, and feeling a little bad for a moment for passing along a false teaching. And then instantly on the heels of that came a feeling of forgiveness. Nope, this was part of the teaching I came to give myself and her. And so we still love each other. We're still in good, you know, all is well. And just how much stronger we can be as individuals, as souls, as incredible beings passing through this life together. How can we make it wonderful for ourselves and others? Well, we can read books to each other. We can hang out together. We can talk about it. I love you.
Let's have fun together. We are here playing. I love it. Thank you so much, Candace. I think you touch a point that for me is like fundamental. You know, it's about our own stories. You know, I mean, how many of us we, you know, or we don't have yet. I don't know, become aware of how imprinted we are, you know, from our past and the conditioning of the collective today. I mean, we are really coming out from the, how to say, the el barro, I don't know how to say the clay, I think it's said in Spanish, es el barro, I don't know. But we are really coming out from density here, you know, so I love the idea to be very aware of the story that I'm saying. And something that you give me here, a great inspiration, Candace, is that, you know, that was the story. So, of course, it's a teaching, and you learn from it, and it's a contrast, and blah, blah, you know. But today, you were just saying a new story about, you know, like this is a teaching, and it is a learning, so we don't get, you know, like trapped into, you know, I would love to have been a much better mother, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know what? The truth, capital letters, you know, is I was the perfect mother for the perfect moment, for the perfect child, for the perfect soul that was here chosen, blah, blah, blah. We can go on and on, you know. Wow, that is a huge switch, you know, and to really understand that we can do that's the power that we have in our mind. We can choose our thinking, we can choose our stories. So what story I'm going to say to myself during this week, let's say, I would say first bring light to the story that you are telling yourself, because that is going to give you the guidance of, you know, the contrast, you know, and see like, so, you know, in my case, you know, telling the story of my life, that I have the right to belong to a ritual for whatever reason in my past I lost, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is my own story is in my own power, you know, like we have that power and that play even, you know, it's like, let's make it fun so we can really tell a story about ourselves that is fulfilling, like you were saying right now, Candace. You know, it's fulfilling, it's exciting, it's rich, it's growing, it's expansive, and it's human. You know, it's not like we are not here. To me, there is one thing that I like to highlight a lot, maybe professional, whatever, in my coaching sessions, you know, but there is a lot of, it's very easy to deny. It's very easy to don't be aware of what it is that is really going on inside. So we really need to master, if you want, like Abraham Hicks was saying here, you know, to master, to detect our vibration. Not to deny it, not to, oh no, you know, I don't need to feel sad, or I can't, sad is not good, or loss is not good or bad, it's what is right now. And because you detect that, then you choose consciously, thank you so much, you know, this is my you know, thermometer about my frequency. Now I can choose something different, but not denying it. You have to be aware, from my perspective, to really, you know, let go all the conditioning that we had, you know, crystallized for so many years here, you know. So don't be, I don't know, judgmental or scary if one day you do one step forward and then you think that you are doing one step backwards. Maybe the teaching is really to love yourself at that moment unconditionally, and you higher your frequency by doing that, you know, your own vibration. So thank you so much, Candace. That was beautiful to see that the stories, you know, the story of my life, you know, what story I'm telling myself consciously and what story I'm telling myself unconsciously, because that one is the one that gives me the results that I see here. And it's interesting to see, maybe there is a discrepancy here that I have to change consciously, you know, that I really have to choose to let go that Monica identify with that past, with that story, to you know, be open enough, like a movie was now, like to jump into the cliff. Okay, forget it, the old Monica, you know, thank you so much. I learned so much. This is the new, you know, and to show that. So thank you, Candace. And let's see, even though it's 9 a.m., this is so exciting. Yes.
Just one thing, having the basis that you just described, to be aware of where we are at, that is the basis. And then the second step, the driving force to change our story, to change our echo, to change our vibration, to be reminded like we're doing with these masterminds is fantastic, but to have a vision, to have a why. When we connect with, I want something else. That that want is a change of the vibration. So to be aware of the why we are doing something and what our goals are, and really deeply to the level of vibrational change, then we will be just one step before the change. So we do our inner, oh, I want to have my live my life on the ocean, on a sailing boat. Okay, I can really feel where that it really comes from a depth that I really want, and that depth is a vibrational change. And immediately things start to show up in emails, and people sending me pictures, and things start to move in that direction, and finally get to it. But the starting point and the inspiration point to keep moving is to be aware of not denial of where we're at, but the vision of where we want to go, and really keep the why in our forefront. So, yeah.
Thank you, Arne. Thank you. And we are almost at the end here, but I would love to hear you tell your wisdom. Yes, Amobi, come in.
Yeah, I wanted to say one thing. What also has patience. I think that's one of the keys too, because for me, whenever I said, okay, I want this goal set up, and this is what I'm gonna do, it wouldn't happen exactly when I wanted to. So that's one thing we have to keep in mind, because patience. You know, you just got to be patient. You know, once you got your mind on the right path, eventually you're going to see and you're going to gain exactly what you need at that point in time. So that's just one extra thing that I wanted to add to that.
Thank you, Amobi. You're a master. Yes, I agree. I totally agree. And what you said just right now, you know, like to be clear on what you want. You know, with Catherine Ponder, there is a powerful example that kicked me in, like, oh my God, you know, because we want, you know, like immediate rewards, you know, like satisfaction. When I want something, I want it now, right? So, and to me, many times I wrote on my journal, you know, for, you know, at the end of the year, I will have blah, blah, blah. It never happened, you know, and la. So I really have to change my story here. But what I think is very important is to realize that that kind of patience is united, in my case right now, not in the past, but right now, is united with this super strong faith. It's like the more I understand how the universe, what the universe is, what I am, and how the universe and I am works, okay? And it is unconditional and unlimited and benevolent and magnificent. And there is nothing, the universe, the I am in me, you know, the presence, whatever, wants everything for me. There is no lack at all as a concept, right? So the more I feel the faith on that, and I remember with the easier it becomes for me, or more joyful, I will say, maybe not easy, more joyful, you know, my journey. But I remember with Catherine Ponder how she was explaining a story of a truck driver that took him 10 years, okay, to manifest the lifestyle that he wanted. He came from being a salary employee person driving the truck. He touched suddenly this kind of consciousness books, blah, blah, and he started to really do his, you know, treasure map and really seeing the house that he wanted, you know, with 2 cars and 2 garages and holidays every year and blah, blah, blah. And he was going there year by year, but he was saying, 10 years later, he not only had that lifestyle, he surpassed it, but he was looking back and saying, my journey was 10 years journey to arrive to stabilize my own wealth here on earth, So to really be, I love what you said about the patience, to be patient and, certain, like the law of command, that we learn here, like certain, that the universe is unconditional. It takes the form that you emanate out, So thank you for that, Amovi. Beautiful. And Celio and Doc Fran, if you want to say something before we close, that will be the opportunity. Yes.
Just 1 second. For me, this book is a challenge because the format of the book is not, like what you were used to with chapters, So I was wondering when Dr. Fran was reading, where was he going to stop? Because I said, it's like this goes on and on. To me, is I love the work of Abraham and Esther Hicks and her husband Jerry, who passed away 2 years ago. And it's very challenging to do it in this format of a mastermind, because I've normally listened to tapes from their seminars, and I just love it because they really go in a very deep way, to the core of the law of attraction, to the core of vibration, to the core of what really is to tell a different story. Because it sounds so simple, just tell a different story. So, and then you realize, what is the story I'm telling all the time to myself and to the world? So for me, I just love it. I think it's very challenging, very powerful, and I think it has a lot of yeast, and it's challenging for each one of us, because it's going to put us, each one of us, in a place to realize exactly what is the vibration I'm offering to my story, to the world, and to do something practical about it. Not just stay with my vibration and be aware of that and that, blah, 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 but just be practical and immediately realize that I have the power to tell a different story and give a different vibration every moment, and therefore, getting the results that I want. So I just love it, and I can't wait for what's going to happen these next weeks with this book.
Thank you, Celio. Thank you very much. I'm excited to hear. Let's see. And Doc Fran, do you have anything else to say before we close here?
Yeah, thank you, Monica, and thank you all of you for your marvelous discussion again this morning. And the thing that struck me as I was reading through this, and Celia, thank you for pointing out, it was interesting to me to figure out how to find the natural start and stop places on this because of the very structure of the book. And so I took a cue from the fact that our last book, and Catherine Ponder, her chapters tend to run between 11 and 14 pages. And when I looked at this from that viewpoint, it became interesting to find that as I read through, I found a natural stop point every 14 pages. And then what was really wild is that breaking it into 14 pages per session, this entire first section ended exactly on the 5th week. So that became the natural structure. It's about a 15 or 20-minute reading, which seems to be great, because then that still leaves us a good 20 or 30 minutes for discussion. One thing that struck me very roundly as I was reading this out loud is the idea that our perception is reality. And, that may be a difficult concept for people to think, because, of course, we are so ingrained to exist in the physical universe that we look around and say, well, hey, folks, this is reality. It's easy for you, Dr. Clark, because you're obviously rich and nothing ever goes wrong in your life, but that's not me, and I'm living in my reality, and I'm broke, and my car needs repair, and I need new tires, and my kids need new shoes for school, and I just don't have any money. That's my reality. Well, I think the easiest way to really start to impinge on people who are stuck at that point in their conscious development is to take a look at celebrities. Celebrities, from our viewpoint of them, have everything that life can offer in abundance. Yachts, jets, money, trips, friends, exorbitant, exotic lifestyles. And yet, against that backdrop of what looks to be the ideal, perfect life that anyone could aspire to, how many celebrities are tragically unhappy? Well, how do we know that? Well, how many celebrities destroy themselves far too young in their lives? Look at Michael Jackson. I don't think that man had a day of peace in his entire life, yet he had everything that a human could ask for from the time he was 9 years old. Look at Lindsay Lohan, same thing. There's a woman on a total self-destruct path who has achieved everything that life can offer. Why is it that they're like that? On a more meaningful basis, how many of us are aware of the fact that people who suddenly do achieve great deals of money, win the lottery, win whatever, gain an inheritance, the statistic is that within 5 years, they're broke and desperate again. And so, again, it comes down to the filter. A person's perception of their life is either in harmony with their conscious higher self or it's not. And therein lies the truth. So, folks, look at Amobi. Perfect example from this. He would have every right to be down in the mouth today about having been riffed 2 days ago. But because he is who he is, and because he is where he is in his conscious development, he is very much aware that he has created exactly that situation in his life to create for him the time in his mind that he needed to continue to achieve the life that he perceives he will have in this time-space reality. So thank you, everyone. I can't wait till next Saturday. Back to you, Monica.
Thank you, Dr. Frank. I just want to say that I feel so honored to be in your presence, guys. I mean, the ones that you are in this side and the ones that you are in the other side, you see in the video. And remember again, if you want to be here live with us, playing here, email Arne, A-R-N-E, @unlimitednetwork.com, and we'll send you a special link for you to be here. But I feel honored, to be surrounded by conscious people like us, that we can speak this language already to all of us and uplift each other, and to know that you are not alone in this journey. I mean, for me, to know that I feel so different. I'm in this mastermind now, Dr. I don't know if you remember in Arne, but we are here together for more than a year and a half. I mean, it's like every Saturday, and my life is changing big, big time. My inner life, my inner capacity to think big, my inner capacity to believe with certainty, to have more faith. So I just want to say thank you, because it's such an honor to be surrounded by people like you. And from here we go vroom, to whatever it is that we dream, really in alignment. And I need you to mute, Arne, in alignment and with the the propel of our inner being, because it's really our right. Okay, so you want to say something before we close, Arne?
Yeah, there is a comment from the people watching, and it's from April Peoples. Although I'm not on today's call panel, I want to express the power of what is being shared. We must choose to move forwards being dream chasers and not allow ourselves to be consumed by those we cannot change. Powerful call. I just wanted to read that.
Wow, absolutely. Yoo-hoo, here we are. Welcome, welcome, all of us. And let's have a wonderful week, like full of consciousness, in the sense of knowing what is my story, what is your story, the one that you say inside, the one that could be unconscious. Maybe the fact that we invoke that, we bring a lot of light this week to, you know, if my life is this way, maybe I'm telling a story about whatever, my parents or whatever, you know, and to be willing, you know, to enjoy the aspect that you can change that. We can think what we choose to think, and it's a matter of growing in our own freedom inside our presence, you know, so it's easier and easier to do that. And next Saturday is going to be September the 5th already. So I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful week. You know, let's get together. Remember, and remember that this is an offering that we do, all of us here together, okay? We offer this to the entire world. So if you have any friend, anybody that is open to prosperity consciousness, to well-being, to really manifest our wealth in all the aspects here, okay? Remember that you can invite them freely, and it's powerful. So it's your choice. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and I see you next Saturday, September 5th, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you.
Bye
Thank
now.
you. Thank you.